Good morning. Today we are going to talk about something kind of deep while I have my morning coffee. Seem a little bit sleepy still. Um, I was thinking about this a lot the other day and how when we go through life and we end up at the end of life, what are some of the things that we could be thinking as we are on our deathbed? I know, kind of morbid. But if we could think about what are some of those regrets that we might have, how we're living our life right now. There's a woman that wrote a book. I'm forgetting the name of the woman. Her name is Bronnie Ware. And she sat with people end of life and she asked them kind of their biggest regrets and wrote a book about it. And there were 5 that really popped up for people. I'm going to read them to you because I haven't memorized all of them, but there's one that I particularly want to talk about. So the first is the one that I'm going to finish with. The second was, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. And I think that's definitely me. But I do enjoy the work that I do. I work really hard, but I love the work I do. I wish I worked a little less. So I am working on that for myself. And the third one on the list is, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. So if you're someone who is struggling with maybe being a people pleaser or telling your partner what it is that you feel, and rather than saying everything is fine or whatever it is, if you can't express your feelings, that's something that we don't want to regret later in life. And you can work on. It's something that I have definitely had to work on over the last, particularly in the last year for myself. And when someone asks me, is everything okay? Me not saying, yeah, everything's fine. And when in reality, it is not fine. I've learned how to do that and I'm feeling really good. It takes the burden of the weight of carrying how you're not feeling out of you. And if you're not to that stage in this moment, then journaling is a really good practice and way to do that and to get your feelings out of your body onto the page, or at least just out of your body, because when we hold things in is when we oftentimes will manifest illness and not feeling well and not good things into our bodies. Okay, the fourth thing on the list is, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends, which I'm sure this is a big one for a lot of people as they age. I feel like for myself, I haven't ever really had all my close friends in one place. They've always been around the world because I've traveled so much. And so I've had the opportunity to re-meet up with friends on my travel assignments for adventure travel and just in general in places, or to travel with people for work that are really close to me and that are really fun to be around. So that has been a really big joy of mine in life. But it's been harder for me to create new friendships as an adult in the city that I now live in because I work from home so much. And so of course that's me just making an excuse because I could easily go out and I know there are people in my community and everywhere around me that could be those close friendships. I have been doing a better job. I've joined the parks board in my community. I have been really activating different things to do that I can create new friendships. But most of my best friends and close friends are around the world, which is kind of a special and interesting way to see people. So I don't know if this is you, but if you have not stayed in touch with your friends, this is your sign to say, hello, friends, where are you? Let's hang out. Let's do something. Let's plan a trip, whatever it is. Number 5 on Bronnie's list is, I wish I had let myself be happier. This is a big one. I think if you just sit there and take it in for a second, I wish I had let myself be happier. It is so easy to go about life and point out all the things that are going wrong instead of what is going right. And to really, losing my voice here this morning, and to really sit with happiness. Sometimes because things are always in a chaotic state, maybe in your house or in your life, or it might feel like chaos, but to look at the good things that are going on can be hard for some people. I love being happy. I love feeling happy. I love feeling happiness. I love spreading happiness. And if you are one of those people, then it might be a little bit easier for you. But there are sometimes people in life that it seems like they're measuring who has the worst complaint to share or something like that. And when you encounter those people, and if you're not one of them, it's easy to get sucked into that energy. But I think it's also easy to change the subject and say, like, what's something good that happened to your day today? So just remembering that everything doesn't have to be hard, even when it feels hard, and that sharing joy with others can spread joy. So be a joy spreader, and others will follow suit. Okay, so the last one, which is actually the first one on the list, is the one that I wanted to really talk about. And that one is, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. I'm going to say that again. I wish I'd had the courage to live the life, or live a life, true to myself, not the life that others expected of me. Now, this is something that I think that others can expect from us, whether that's our partner and they expect a certain thing, or whether that was your parents when you were younger expecting you to do and achieve a certain thing. Maybe they were a doctor and they expect you to also go to medical school, or maybe they owned a business and expected you to take over. You need to live your own path, and maybe you don't know what that is yet. And maybe you've been too afraid to try to go after that. But this is just a reminder that every life is unique and not everyone is meant to do the same thing. And I talked about this in another video of my path being so different than, I'm sure there are many other people with the same, not the same path, but similar paths where they didn't take the traditional 9-to-5 job, and they didn't go the traditional, I'm going to get a career and then I'm going to have a family and I have a white picket fence and then that's what my life looks like. But I chose differently. I always felt like I was not meant to live a life like that. And my life was going to be one of adventure, one of curiosity, one of making sure that it was filled with discovery, and joy, like we talked about earlier. And so I think the biggest thing that I don't want to regret is that I have not fully become the woman that I see myself becoming, because I have big plans for myself. I do. And we all should, right? We all should have big plans for ourselves if we want them. And we shouldn't feel trapped in what we're doing for work, or what we're doing for a career, or what we want to achieve. If you have a big, big dream, I want you to go after it, because why not? You know, the worst that can happen is it doesn't work out, right? But I think my biggest regret would be if I'm on my deathbed and I'm sitting there and saying like, oh, you could have just become so much more, but you were afraid and you never really tried. That would be my biggest regret. So I spend most days trying to become this woman that I see myself being. And there are definitely times where I feel setbacks, where I feel fear. That wouldn't be normal if you didn't. But there are moments like that, And then there's this other little like voice that says, no, just do it. Just do the thing. And you just have to make sure that the contrasts of the voices that are speaking to you are not, one is not weighing more than the other. And that's all you have to do in order to process and proceed and move forward. Me starting this YouTube channel, I wasn't sure exactly what this would turn out to be. I knew that I was afraid. Yeah, I was afraid. I was afraid to post myself online, just speaking to camera without reading a script and just speaking freely as I am now. But as you work through those fears, you realize they're kind of silly. Not silly because they're there for a reason, but you realize that they're meant to propel you actually instead. So when you're feeling fear around something bigger or living a life that's true to yourself or making sure that you live your highest life that you can possibly live, that you've done everything you can to be your best self, whether that's through career, to other people, all the things, that's when I feel like you don't have any regrets. And I don't want to live a life where I have regrets at the end of my life. So we're not dead yet, and we have plenty of time to change the way that we see ourselves if that's what you're wanting to do. We have plenty of time to reconnect with friends. We've got plenty of time to, what are some other things on the list? Courage to express your feelings. You have plenty of time to do that. So if you are listening to this video, pick one of the things that I mentioned from Bronnie and do the thing. Move through the feelings. Try something new. Just do something that is going to make you have one less regret or no regrets at all on your last days here on earth. I'm wishing you guys a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.